Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. This is your forecast for the collective for Tuesday, the 9th of November. It is not solely set for that date, it is available to you whenever you see it. Take the message rather than the date. But for those of you that watch regularly, we are building upon the reading from Sunday. So let's see what's going on. Please check out the drop down menu on any of my daily videos. And there's all my information on how to follow me on social media, um, how to book a private reading, my Amazon wish list, all sorts of stuff is there. So different ways you can support the channel. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you here every day. And leave questions or comments. That's always a great way to um, uh, support the channel, right? And if there's anything in there, I usually like the comments and stuff. Any questions I would address, and you can reach out to me directly at either Facebook or my Instagram if need be. All right, so let's see what's going on with the cards today. The dogs are on fire this morning. They're just racing through the house. Trying to give them a moment because I have to start work, and they're going to be caged up for at least until I get my first break. Oh my God, shut up. All right. We can't escape this card today. We've seen this card for the last 3 days in a row. Fuck this card. That's how I feel. I'm going to get his book and just read his book because I want to see what his book has to say. Major Arcana Wheel of Fortune. Is the house burning down, folks? I just need to know. Like, is your personal house burning down? And I mean that like in a metaphoric sense. I don't know why. The Wheel of Fortune is like this. I will actually just watch this morning's broadcast too before filming this one. And it's funny that this card should show back up because this card gives me this really unpleasant feeling like if we don't get about doing what we need to do, then the universe will do it for us. And ultimately, that is the good thing, right? Like, that is, they talk about like fate and all of that. And I don't know where people's beliefs are on fate, but this card feels to me like, if we have a soul plan or whatever, this card makes me feel like even if our ego, our mind, our fears, our worries, our insecurities get in the way of that plan, the universe is going to adapt, shift, and move in a way and burn off the things or rearrange the things that stand in our way of getting there, whether we like it or not. And sometimes that can be painful. Sometimes that can be a release, right? Sometimes that can produce a freedom. So I don't necessarily always get like this horribly bad thing about this card, but it does feel like there's a reluctance here, or there's this sort of thing we can't control and we don't know what to do. And so we're just maybe sort of standing here as time ticks by, waiting for the fallout. It doesn't have to be fallout, though, right? Because it's the Wheel of Fortune. But it makes me feel, and it also, I got to say this too, the fallout aspect of this card, we have the Three of Cups coming this week and the Three of Pentacles. Both are, not only are they threes, which is a good thing, right? But they are collaborative, they are celebrated, they are achieving, they are, positive cards, right? And they're both water and earth, right? Our emotions and our material, right? How we feel inside is how it's going to reflect on the outside. Maybe we need this clock to be on fire for the next few days to burn away the excess, whatever's not sort of working for us. Um, so that we can see more clearly, so that we can feel more clearly, so that we can understand where we're at or what we want or which direction we're heading. Maybe we're feeling pulled in too many different directions right now and we don't know where to be, right? Or how to be in the moment that we're in. So, Wheel of Fortune, it just says his book has very slight words, but it says infinity, boundless energy, turning point, destiny, life cycle, endless possibility, and purpose. So, and remember yesterday, that card, the grounding stone was promise. And I felt like it was not about like, I normally read promise as like the promised land and the abundance that can come from whatever's going on around us. To me, promise yesterday meant about a self-fulfilling promise that we made to ourselves maybe a long time ago outside of the body. I don't know if I'm getting a little too weird for you all at this point, but it feels like we need to be looking at those things. Underneath that grounding stone for the week is that grounding stone of faith, right? Where that faith in oneself, our faith in our ability to do whatever it is we want to achieve, our faith in rearranging or following the path that the wheel is placing in front of us. The wheel might feel dangerous. That might be this fire. It's interesting to me how the clock is in fire and water, which are conflicting elements, right? They're not necessarily the most harmonious of elements. Water will put out fire, but fire will burn things to spirit, right? So it's kind of like this, I don't know. This card's got me in all kinds of, and it's card number 10, which boils down to one, which one is always the focus of the self, right? So if we're not willing to take the journey and we're going to fight it, we're going to feel the burn. If we're trying to pretend that things are okay or things are the way they need to be or this is sufficient enough, and you know what, I'm calling myself out. I'm doing a little bit of this behavior even in my life. It's not enough. And we know it. That's the problem. That's the fire that's burning on this clock. It's like we know it. We're not doing, I don't know, what we need to be doing is the best way to describe it. And the wheel's going to make sure that we do. God damn it. Like, that's my feeling. And I think that's the trepidation and the fear that I get from this card. All right. So, interesting new card we have here. Insight. I like this. I love the colors of it. It does give me a little bit of fire tone there, but I love all the strings of lights and lamps. I love that this crow is doing something. He almost looks like he's dropping these pebbles into the water to get that thing to float to the top so he can pluck it out. I'm not sure, but it's like that's how smart he's being. He's like weighing down to raise the level of the water so that the item that he wants, whatever this is, a shrimp or whatever, I can't tell, whatever that is, it will float to the top and he can easily grab it, right? So there is a way around this. There is a workaround in a way. And this is some of that Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, collaborative, successful energy that we have coming at us this week. Think outside the jar, people. Take whatever is heavy and wants rocks, and I'm just using these as metaphors, right now. Take the rocks in our life or the heaviness in our life and look at them in a different way and use them to create buoyancy for ourselves so that we can rise up and so that we can gain the gift. Because ultimately the Wheel of Fortune wants to give us a gift, right? It is the Wheel of Fortune. It's trying to steer us in the right direction. Well, if we're fighting it on the en route towards the gift, well, then that's on us, right? I do want to read Insight because I just think it's interesting. To me, the metaphor is we take what's heavy or our heaviest load and we use it in a way through our emotions to actually work for us rather than against us. And that's the insight that comes with this. So let's see what Insight says. I should have my glasses on this early in the morning. I swear to God, my vision sucks. All right. Crows and ravens are problem solvers. Crows make tools and learn from each action. In this illustration, you see the crow dropping rocks into the water. After testing a couple of rocks, the crow begins to understand the relationship between the stones and the water. Water and earth, guys, right? Which we have that in the Pentacles, Three of Cups, and Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups is that relationship between water and earth. It learned with each rock that the water would rise, and as a result, the buoyant shrimp would rise too. Insight asks you to take the time to examine your situation, test out different strategies to gain wisdom. When you understand the relationship between all contributing factors, you will be able to remove any obstacles that may have been in your way. And that's the Wheel of Fortune too, being all encompassing, right? Where it is you, the functionality of your life, the shitty stuff and the good stuff, it's all working together like a big gear, right? Or a big clock with gears, right? And each piece clicks and the other piece clicks and it all moves forward. And so where are we in that clicking is the question. Are we fighting against it? Are we using the rocks to like educate ourselves and gain that insight, right? All the while keeping that faith and keeping a focus on that promise that we made to ourselves um, a long time ago. The word is on carnelian, which brings us down to the base chakra. And again, we've got that fiery tone, that red passion, that burn, that desire, that action taking color that I see sort of mimicked between all three of these. If you see that, do you see that orange kind of fire that's burning through all of these? We can take this burn or this fire and use it as inspiration, as decision making, as jet fuel, so to speak, to embrace our situation, not avoid our situation, to look at our situation in a different light. When we look at something through the eyes of love, it appears differently than when we do with distress or anger or frustration. Does that make sense? Embracing ourselves too during this time for those of you that are having more tender and harder moments of dealing with this, okay? Keep that in mind. That is your forecast for the day, you guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully, this Wheel of Fortune will tell us what it wants for us, and we will learn as we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like this video and share it out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.